Hello, my name is Karynn Weinstein. Welcome to the show. It's been a while since I did a show. A lot of things have happened for the past 2 weeks. A lot of good things happened. People, I've been put on to be understood that there's a different faith that was going to be our main faith, the Islam. Well, we are a free country. We're capitalists. We make money. We're rich. We're one of the richest countries in the world. The faith of Islam, conducted by Muslims, will not be the only faith in our country. Things have changed. You will not have to get up pre-dawn to go to the mosque and worship God. You don't have to worship God 5 times a day. You don't have to wear the Muslim's garb. This is not truth. This is not good for us. Maybe it works in poor countries, but it will not function well here in the United States of America. People, my fellow Americans, we will be okay. Everything will be okay. We will have freedom to choose what faith that we may want to follow. I want to make one thing clear, today and every day. The spirit to worship is Jesus. People, everything is going to be okay. I am your leader, I am your guide, and I promise you, everything is going to be okay. I'm in the know now. And with your help, we will make sure in the physical world that Islam is not the only faith in our country to follow. I think if there are Muslims who are not citizens of America, I think they should be led away and out of our country. The Islam faith has 1.1 billion people who follow the faith of Islam. People, you no longer have to wear the Muslim's garb. We don't have to worship God 5 times a day. Our lives don't have to be succumb to worshiping God, because now we are worshiping Jesus. I will have a script written and I'll go in more detail in the near future. I understand that people are deciding whether or not to send our children, our prized possessions, to go to school. Well, I have some ideas. I'm going to give you my ideas to help you decide whether to send your children to school. We do not want the children to become sick, if it's at all possible. So, my reasoning is, we can't say that everyone goes back to school in September. It's going to have to be manipulated by the governors, because each state, each area of education is different. You may have a lot of children in your city. Or you may be in the outskirts where there's not so many children in smaller schools. But my thoughts are, in such a state as Florida, keep the children home. The ones they're having people die every day. We don't want our children to die, especially when it can be prevented. Here's my suggestions here. If you're prepared for this, and you're living in a good school system, a good town, good city, make these decisions that meet the needs of our children. School is important, but living is even more important. You can start the school year and have classes. I recommend the classroom schools can start around end of August. You get after Labor Day, or after Labor Day, September. Okay? We can have teachers and the students back in school, but we must protect them, and protect them from themselves toward others in the school. Let's let the teachers teach, and let the students learn. It is time for the students to return to school, depending upon each state and how severe the pandemic is. The main goal is to lower the contraction of the virus. Try to keep the numbers of gathering for the students to a minimum. And to do that, I recommend 2 shifts, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. The times for the classes are a recommendation, and it can be adjusted to your own needs in your school system. I'm going to show you a piece of paper. For example, in high school, the first shift starts at 6:30 to 12 noon. It will be a 5.5 hour shift. Second shift would be starting 1 to 6:30, a 5.5 hour day. 7th and 8th grade, their first shift starts at 7:30 to 12:30, 5 hours of schooling. These 5 hours of schooling means that not a lunch break or anything, there isn't a break, but a snack break. The second shift is from 1 to 6 o'clock in the evening, 5 hours of schooling. Grades K through 6, first shift 8 to 11:30, so there'd be 4.5 hours. Second shift 12 to 4:30, 4.5 hours. Let me show you that on the camera. As you can see, the high school will have its first shift 6:30 a.m. to 12 noon. And again, high school, the second shift 1 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. As you can see, for 7th and 8th grade students, their first shift would be 7:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The second shift for 7th and 8th grade, 1 o'clock to 6 p.m. Grades K through 6, kindergarten through 6th grade. Their first shift starts at 8 a.m. and goes to 11:30 a.m. And that's 4.5 hours of schooling. A little snack break in between during the day would be fine. Second shift, 12 noon to 4:30 p.m. 4.5 hours for our students. For children grades K through 6, you could have, for example, the younger students go 8 to 11:30. So like grades K to 4th grade can do the morning shift 8 to 11:30. But the second shift could be 5th and 6th graders. And then you could extend the day, afternoon, second shift, from 12 to maybe 5 o'clock or 5:30. So those, it gives you an idea. Break up the day in 2 shifts. Or have less people in the school at one time. Now you'd have a separate teacher in the morning shift and a different teacher in the second shift. We will be creating more job opportunities for teachers. Lunchtime is at the discretion of the school. The students can eat in the classroom and the meal is brought to them. The students can eat at the cafeteria as long as they keep distancing. That is at the discretion of the school system. The students with underlying medical conditions must eat at a separate location and the food is to be brought to them. Now, in between the first shift and the second shift, try to sanitize the chairs and the room. If you cannot sanitize the room before the next shift, then allow the children, before they sit down, to wipe off and sanitize their chairs. And once again, separate teacher for each shift. There can be one or more teachers teaching the class. I also believe that children should be kept a safe distance from one another. Have them wear gloves. Have them wear the mask. Keep each other safe. Also, the children, they are precious to us. They're very important people. At home, if you choose to have your classes at home, then I recommend there be a tutor in the home with the children who will regularly go to their home and help them with their schoolwork. That's what I want done. I understand, according to the news, that a 15-year-old girl could not learn the process from the internet with the computer. She didn't know how to do that. Then she was arrested for not doing her classwork at home. That's not how we resolve issues. We go to the home and you discuss it with the child, or the 15-year-old or the child, and the mother and father, to help best help the student to learn by using the computer. That should never have been said or done or be made aware of to the police. No one should be punished if they're finding it difficult to learn on a computer. That is totally wrong. Totally wrong. Put a tutor in her home as she studies and does her schoolwork. Unheard of, unacceptable. Remember, the virus can spread really quickly through a school system. In my opinion, my thoughts, have this school provide an education when the child is at home. But if you can do it, and you feel comfortable putting children back in the classroom, make sure they wear their masks, have them wear gloves, and keep 6 feet distance. In the warm weather, have the class outside. That's okay to do. But right now in our lives, we must slow down and relax. We all must calm down. We must slow things down. It's okay for the children to stay at home if that's the way we have to overcome the pandemic. The pandemic is real, and it's very serious. 1,000 people dying in one day? Unacceptable. We must unite as one to conquer the COVID-19 pandemic. I am stating this. It's up to the state and the cities to decide whether or not to have the children, young adults, go to school in a classroom. Those are my thoughts. And remember, slow down, relax, calm down. Our country and our countrymen have a long life to live. If you're concerned about education, we could always extend the education and add another year to the public school system. I want to say, keep the children safe. They are very, very special human beings. God bless. Thank you.